What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF, man. As the Lakers defeat the Utah Jazz, man. The South Bay Lakers coming to play. Another bounty collected, another playoff team defeated, which proves that we definitely had the depth and they were misused. We should have made the playoffs, guys. Bottom line, we didn't use all our resources. Look at this guy, Jamario Jones. We should have been called him up from the G League. We needed a hard-nosed defensive player who can rebound like that a long time ago. So he would have been a big remedy for us. Look at what Caruso's doing. Now KCP stepping up. JaVale's back. We could have made the playoffs, guys, and it's sad. This brings joy to me to see them playing this hard and this good. We just beat another playoff team back-to-back, the Clippers, now the Jazz. And unfortunately, that's going to put us in the 11th spot. Most likely that's where we're going to finish. But you know what? It is what it is, man. I can't be mad at them. They played hard. I loved the way they played. JaVale McGee needs to come back. The way he outplayed Rudy Gobert tonight, JaVale McGee's an absolute beast. Caruso needs to come back, absolute beast. KCP, I'm still on the fence, but the way he's been shooting, man, it's making me feel like we should re-sign him on the cheap. But Jamario Jones tonight and Jonathan Williams, if we can get those guys on the cheap to come off the bench, I think they deserve a chance because Jamario Jones, hard-nosed two-way player, reminds me of a poor man's Trevor Ariza. And I keep saying poor man because I never like to compare players on a small sample size to all-stars or past all-stars. So I'm going to tell you right now, Jamario Jones is a keeper, man. We've been wanting that kind of hard-nosed player, and that kind of play is infectious. The way he was crashing the glass, did you guys see how he locked up Donovan Mitchell? He is nice. So I know a lot of you guys are bummed out because we move up a slot, but at the end of the day, we gain a lot. We're starting to see which players are keepers, man. And again, I like Caruso, of course, JaVale, Jamario Jones, and Jonathan Williams. Those are my four keepers from these role players. Caruso's a two-way player. He's fearless when he attacks the rim. He puts his head down. He's very crafty around the basket. Great playmaker. Again, he had like 8 or 9 assists. And just beasting, man, shooting a high percentage from the field. He'll have a turnover here and there, but with his high IQ, I mean, we'll take a turnover or two here and there. But all in all, guys, I'm proud of the South Bay Lakers. They came out, they're hooping, they're playing with a lot of heart. And you can't really be mad at this win. I understand, yes, we want the draft pick, but you never know. Maybe we'll still get a ping pong lottery ball to bounce our way. It's a lot more impossible in the position we're in. But at the end of the day, man, I'll tell you what. We might have found 2 to 3 good key role players here, which might be as important as finding a good draft pick. I'm talking nobody knew who even Jamario Jones was unless you were watching the South Bay Lakers. I wasn't, to be honest with you guys. So I had no clue who this kid was. This kid is 6'5". He had 17 boards tonight. And his stroke isn't bad, man. He's actually a better shooter than David Nwaba was. And Nwaba was making an impact here with the Lakers in a short stint. So I like this Jamario Jones kid. And his defense is really good, man. What he did to Donovan, he made him work for everything. KCP, let's not forget to give him credit. He's been really great on the defensive end, too, tonight. And overall, just been shooting lights out. But Jamario Jones tonight was the player that really impressed me. Besides, of course, the Carusos and JaVales that I've been doing it consistently. But, I mean, as a new riser, Jamario Jones. And Jonathan Williams, I don't understand why they didn't play him a lot this year. When we were lacking paint protection, they should have brought him back. This guy is really good. And he finishes. He has a soft touch around the basket. He's able to finish. I like it. I like what this young team is doing, and I hope that we have enough roster spots. In all honesty, moving forward for next year, I want at least 1 max player and 1 good role player. Everybody else that we have on the team that's balling out right now, I would bring back on cheap contracts. I'm talking JaVale, I'm talking Caruso, I'm talking Jamario Jones, potentially Jonathan Williams as well. Players I would cut, probably Rondo, because as you saw tonight, we don't need him. The way that Lonzo's going to come back and facilitate, we won't need Rondo. The way that Caruso can facilitate but also score, we don't need Rondo. I like Rondo, but I think he's better suited on another team. And then, again, if we can have Jamario Jones coming off the bench, as a two-way player, a slasher, because he's a pretty solid slasher, man. He's athletic. And his defense and rebounding, man, that'll be huge for us off the bench next year. So I think we need to really start looking at those players as future pieces. And I think LeBron's going to have his input. I mean, he's been enjoying himself on the bench. I see the way he's cheering them on. Hey, that one play where KCP threw the lob to JaVale McGee, that reminded me of the Kobe Shaq lob, man. That was very reminiscent. That brought me back great memories. I almost shed a tear, guys. That was fun to watch. I gotta tell you, KCP, we've hated on him all year long. I'll be the first to say I was one of the main ones because he's been so inconsistent. But these last 10 plus games or so, lost count, but he's been balling out. He's been hitting that mid range consistently, that three ball. He looks fearless. I don't know what changed in his game. Maybe it's the hunger for the paycheck. But he looks like a very serviceable player off the bench if he was able to buy into that role. So I know you guys don't like him. Y'all don't want to hear it. It's too late. I've heard everything, but man, he's kind of convincing me, man. The way he's been playing, guys, he's been balling out. And that lob showed that he actually has good basketball IQ. He just, I don't know, he stored it away. He wasn't using it. So, again, what did you guys think of the game? I enjoyed it. You know, at first I was cheering for Donovan Mitchell to score because I was like, yo, we need to lose this game. But then when I seen the young kids just taking over, man, I couldn't help but to hop on board with that, man. You know, I never like to cheer against my Lakers. So pretty much it was a fun game. It was a very fun game. And I just wish that Luke Walton would have been bright enough to give these players heavy minutes. Caruso, when Lonzo went down with injury and we needed a backup point guard for Rondo, Caruso didn't get almost any minutes. We were experimenting at the point guard position. That was all bad. Again, poor coaching. When we traded, even before we traded Zubats, when Tyson Chandler and JaVale were injured, we used Zoo and he balled out, but we didn't use Jonathan Williams. Why? That could have helped us, man. Jonathan Williams helped us win like a game or two when we first brought him on with his hustle and his defense. I don't understand it. And then Jamario Jones, you know, the latest revelation, man. He's something else. So I think Jamario Jones, I'm glad with the contract we gave him with the 1-year opt-out because we've seen a small sample size, and we need to see this hunger next season too. If not, they will cut him. But I would like to keep him, man. That hunger he's playing with reminded me of when we first got Trevor Ariza and he was still raw. He couldn't really shoot, but he would do all the little dirty work. He would slash really good, play defense. He would play the passing lanes like a G. He'd be on the glass. I mean, Trevor Ariza was versatile. And again, not comparing their skill sets, but their heart and their energy is very similar. And I like players like that. He said, Dan, unfortunately, I feel like they're going to bring back Luke. Oh, God, no. Please, no. I pray to God that doesn't happen. That AD saga killed the energy. They are having fun again. I agree with that. That also had part of it, but the coaching, man. Why didn't we utilize the tools that were there? You know, Dan, Jamario Jones reminds me of Meanie Dennis Rodman. That's another good comparison. But again, Hall of Famer, man. I'll never compare him to players like that till they show me a lot more. But I do like his energy and his heart is in the right place. And he plays really smart. He doesn't try to force anything. He continues to crash the glass on offense and defense and just plays great hard-nosed defense. And then if he gets a lane, he's going to cut. I like it. Dan, this team would make a good second unit. That's what I'm saying. And that's what we should be looking for. I get the draft pick is important. Make no mistake. But we could still get a good player at 11 that we could have got at 10. You know, players slip all the time. So I'm not going to overreact to it. I do wish that we would have moved up to the top 4. But if you guys didn't notice tonight, Cam Reddish was sitting there with LeBron's agent, you know, in Clutch Sports. So maybe it's a little sneak peek into who we're looking at in the draft. I don't know. He's a solid bench players. And they're playing with heart. That's the important thing. They're playing with a lot of heart, you know, a lot of heart. And I like that. I like players that play with heart. He said, if we don't keep Alex, the front office is absolutely clueless. I agree with that. That would be the final strike for the front office. They have to bring back Alex. Alex is only 25. That's what people don't know. Yeah, he's losing the hair. But, I mean, some people are different. Like, they have different conditions, you know, where they lose their hair sooner. Alex Caruso is playing like a young man. He's 25. He almost yammed on Rudy Gobert. I got off my seat. I couldn't believe it. I almost had a heart attack. If he would have ended Rudy Gobert in that manner, man, that would have been a top 10 SportsCenter highlight for sure. Hey, Dan, just got in. Didn't watch the game. I am surprised. I hope. What was that? He said, I hope they can back it up. I feel you, bro. If you don't watch the game, you missed a great one. Another great one. The last one was versus the Clippers. That felt good beating them. And tonight it felt great because we're beating playoff teams at full strength or close to full strength. So how much roster spots do the Lakers have? They only have 15, and most of all of them are taken. don't have enough spots to keep all the G League players. That is not true. Only 7 players are going to be under contract next season, so they have to make decisions. So if only 7 players are under contract, that means there's going to be 8 open roster spots. I give one to Caruso. I give one to JaVale McGee. That's 2. I give one to Jamario Jones. He already has one for next season if we opt in. And I give one to Jonathan Williams. Those are the 4 I bring back for sure. And that means we have 4 open slots left. And not to mention the G League two-way players we can sign as well. So maybe Jonathan Williams will come back as a two-way G League player. But at the end of the day, that's only 4 roster spots counting Jonathan Williams. If you subtract him and you add him as a two-way player again next year, then you still have 5 open roster spots. I'm talking a max player, a good role player, and 3 other players. So there's plenty of space. There's no excuses. You know? He said, sup? What's up, brother? How you doing, Combat? He said, Caruso should buzz his hair off like you, DTLF. Well, I'm not going to criticize the guys. Look, if he's balling like this, I don't care if he has a bird's nest on his head. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, man, I don't care about looks. You hoop like this, we're going to love you, man. You could look like the Grim Reaper. You know, however you hoop, that's all that matters. He said, Kobe Carl is the South Bay coach. So he's doing a good job with player development. I'll tell you that. Because these South Bay players are coming up ready. So I like that. Dan, what do you think of Magic will do? I have no clue. Again, this summer's gonna drive me nuts because normally I give you guys a glimpse and I've been right a lot, but this year I have no clue, man. I don't know. Magic Johnson, I thought we were on the same page, so he traded away Zubats. Then that totally threw me for a loop. So now I'm kind of clueless. Dan, do you think that this year was a blessing in disguise, even though the season turned out terrible? There's definitely some good things coming out of this. We're witnessing them. Yes, we're winning, but man, players are playing. They're balling. They're showing their stuff, and that's what you want to see. He said, Kobe Carl needs to be our development coach. Absolutely. I'm so for it. Watching them Dodgers, man, shout out to the Dodgers Combat. They've been balling out, man. I haven't been watching the games, been busy, but I've been watching the highlights, and I'm very proud of the Dodgers. I hope that this is our year. Dan, JJ, and Lonzo's D is what we need. Great point, Eric. People forget we still have a bundle of great players that haven't played in a while. So I get excited just looking at the potential of young pieces. He said, that's what I loved about Kobe Bryant. Let's see what he read. He said, that's what I loved about Kobe Bryant. He never lost the hunger, not even on the last day he played in the NBA. Of course, man, the legendary Mamba. Never forget. He said, Kuzma, Ingram, Lonzo said they want out. That's not true. Those are false rumors, man. Don't read everything. Don't believe everything you read on the websites, man. Dan, people say Cam Reddish is overrated. What are your thoughts? Only reason they're saying that is because he didn't get as much shine with the other 2 guys there, RJ and Zion. But I think Cam Reddish could be very underrated. I think the opposite. Thoughts about Jimmy Butler? Man, if we strike out on free agency, I say why not to Jimmy? Dan, Lakers should play like this when it actually matters. Well, I mean, look, to us it doesn't matter, but to the players it does. You got to remember, a lot of these guys are playing for their career, so there's no more pressure than that. So that means that they could perform at this stage, then if we make the playoffs, they could definitely perform at that stage because that's you're solidified a spot. But what they have to do is maintain that same hunger. Once you get the guarantee spot, don't rest on your laurels. That's why I think it's a smart move for Magic to get guys on like 1 year with a 1 year option type deals because that'll keep them hungry to keep proving themselves. Right? Guys like Jamario Jones, I like that deal for him for the same reason. Should we still trade for AD and sacrifice a young core? I say no. I say wait till 2020 if he wants to come. And if not, I wouldn't sacrifice, not for everything they're asking for. If they revise their trade offer and somehow we're able to keep Brandon Ingram and or Lonzo Ball, then yeah, but that sounds like a reach, honestly. I think Cam goes top 7. Again, we still got to go to the draft lottery, so we don't know if we're going to move up or down or stay. Right? Dan, hope Magic does not pick talent like MJ. What? Hope Magic like MJ. Oh, I know what you mean. MJ, the GM. I thought you meant talent like MJ type talent. I was like, what are you talking about, bro? He said, yeah, trade for AD. BI needs to go. Come on, Kenny. Come on, Lofton. I say the Lakers should only go for KD, Kemba, Kawhi, or Kyrie in free agency. I don't know about only, man. We need to land a max free agent, even if it is Jimmy Butler. We need to land somebody. We cannot strike out. Just watching the live feed, and I totally agree with your Alex Caruso comments. That guy is blowing out, and he has a background and the smarts that he could be an asset if we keep him. I think he already has made it to there. I agree with you, man. I think he's already an asset moving forward. But it'll be interesting to see what kind of contract they work out with him. Damn, I'm a little worried that Magic will do, and the Dodgers will make it all the way. You hear it here first. I'm a little worried what Magic will do. Oh, and the Dodgers will make it all the way. Yeah, man. I'm not really too worried. I think he'll do the right thing, especially after all the scrutiny. I think he's gonna have to look a little closer at whatever moves are out there and execute them a little bit better than what he did, over this season. But Dan, what happened to Bullock? Bullock, we brought him in to be a consistent shooter, and he's been inconsistent, so I wouldn't bring him back. But we'll see. We love MJ so much that we don't think about that. Yeah, you're talking about him, the GM, right? Yeah, you can't really hate on Michael Jordan, man. He said, keep the core and add free agents. I'm with that. I'm so with that. And we're getting more assets that can help us win games. Look, man, we're beating the Jazz, who we struggled with when we had LeBron and some of these young core pieces, by playing good team ball, playing with good chemistry and high energy. Sometimes energy beats out talent, and tonight was that. They obviously have better players than us at the moment with, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. That's two of their stars. We don't have no stars on the floor. However, these guys are playing hungry, smart basketball. And here's the sad part is that I'm mad at Luke every time I watch games like these because I'm like, how come you never gave these guys opportunity? The only reason they're getting to shine is because of all the injuries. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't see the Caruso show. We wouldn't even know who half of these guys are. He didn't even give Andre Ingram a chance. He didn't give, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a shame. That's the hardest part to stomach, that knowing that we had the talent to compete and we did it because they didn't use the assets that we had, the pieces. We didn't give these young guys a chance. And I want a coach that's going to be fair game, that really completes the promise that Luke made this summer and said that whoever plays harder will get more playing time. Well, that hasn't been the case this year, and it's starting to show here at the end of the season because these guys play really hard and they didn't get no PT. He said that is the key: smart basketball and hustle. Absolutely, man. Hard work beats out talent. Not always, but sometimes. Dan, what are the picks looking like now? What is the pick looking like now? At the moment, it's the 11th best, odds. But pretty much the Timberwolves are going to tank the final game. So we're pretty much going to end up at the 11th spot, which is a little sad, but I'm not too mad because, again, we're finding players already. See, what people don't know is that they look at the draft as the only way of adding new young talent. Well, no, we already, we're learning who are the keeper, young, talented pieces: Jamario Jones, Caruso, Jonathan Williams. It's like a side little mini draft out of the G League. So we already have to start looking at talent from now. And that's why I said these last games are going to be crucial, just to evaluate the talent. I said, if Magic is smart, he will put out young players and just let them rock, That if he doesn't, I said that's going to mean something bad for the summer. That means that he's not interested in young talent and he's just going to trade everybody. So this actually brings hope to me that he's going to rock with most of these young core players, because think about it. If he didn't really care about developing players, they wouldn't have gave these guys opportunity. I'm sure these orders are coming from the top. Start Jamario Jones. Luke Walton isn't like that. Luke Walton has been giving the vets all the PT, and tonight they did the right thing by sitting out, Rajon Rondo. He said, Dan, Bullock isn't above three-point shooter per shot. Bring him back. You want him back, huh? I don't mind bringing him back, but it's going to have to be real cheap, man. I don't want to give none of these guys no $9 million contract per year. Dan, could you say we could build through the G League? No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is we can add some nice role players through the G League. And teams that have been successful have done that in the past. They've added good role players or gems or diamonds in the rough through the G League, not just the draft or through free agency. You have to look at when you're a team like the Lakers has been struggling for so long, you have to look at every avenue. You cannot shortchange yourself. You can't just say, oh, we're going through the draft, or, oh, we're going to trade everybody and go through there. Absolutely not. You have to it's like playing the lottery. The more tickets you buy, the bigger shot you have at hitting the lottery. And anytime that we give guys like Caruso a shot and they play like this, you kind of hit the mini lottery. You know what I mean? It's like you're starting to find diamonds in the rough. And the Lakers have to do that more often. We have to find a way to expand our search for good to great players, right? We have to build a culture, and that means not every player is expected to be a star. You're going to need the Jamario Joneses. You're going to need the Alex Carusos. You're going to need the Jonathan Williams types to help you win games, you know? That's it. The Spurs add good talent from the G League all the time, and so do the good teams in the league. Exactly, Vern. That's all I'm saying is we have to adapt to the new CBA. This team was always missing players that knew their role. Luke is horrible at playing the correct rotations. He literally had to be told to play these hustle guys. And not just that, he literally had to wait till LeBron was out, till Kuzma was out, till Alonzo, till Ingram, to even give these guys a shot. You know? It's a disappointment. But yeah, we need good role players to make a playoff push and a deep playoff run. And that's the same reason I always never get fooled by teams like Oklahoma City, no matter how hot their start is. I told you guys, everybody's like, OKC's playing really well. I said, they don't have the depth, man. They don't have the depth to go far in the playoffs. The max that they could travel is probably like to the second round, and that's not good enough, you know, unless that's all Russell Westbrook and Paul George want. Dan, how about adding Spencer Hawes? I've never been a fan of Spencer Hawes, ever. You know, not even when he was with the Philadelphia 76ers. Yeah, he can shoot the three. He's an okay rebounder, but what else do you bring to the team? I'm tired of adding these, you know, project players like Muscala who just don't know what they're going to bring. I want to add players that are hard-nosed and play hard and smart. Dan, who would you keep from this year's Lakers squad? I mentioned a few earlier in the video, but it's all coming in my final video, man. After Tuesday, I'm going to drop the video on Wednesday with the grades. I'm going to grade from the front office to coach to every single player that has wore purple and gold. Excuse me, including the ones that got traded. I'm grading everybody. I'm going to do that at the end of the season, which is, you know, Tuesday is the last day, but the video will drop on Wednesday. So I'll be working overtime for that. And then I got a lot of content for you guys. So just keep it locked, man. I'll answer a lot of your guys' questions through those videos. I don't want to spoil any of the, you know, any of my thoughts. We need a physical banger in the paint. I agree with that, except JaVale has been playing that role now that he's been healthy. And yes, it's always good to have some backup insurance just in case JaVale gets sick again or something, right? He said, don't hurt him with the grades, Dan. Be nice. I'll be nice if you earned a nice rating, but y'all know the ratings that are coming for certain people. You know, Luke Walton, you already know what's coming. And I will explain myself why I'm giving him these grades because, you know, it's been disappointing, to say the least, especially finding out that we had this much talent without utilization, right? Caruso's a good pick and roll guard, man. He knows how to read the defense, and he knows how to come down the lane. Again, he's hard-nosed, smart player. He just makes the right reads all the time. He'll either score the ball or, you know, he'll make the right pass, and I love that about him. So he said, I say sign Zubats if he's willing to return to the Lakers. I think the Clippers traded for him. I think they're gonna give him the bag, man. They're probably gonna give him a nice little because I don't think the Clippers are getting max free agents. I think they'll be spreading their money with like some good role players, maybe one all-star. But I think they're probably gonna bring back Zubats. You know, that's probably it. They're probably gonna bring back Big Zoo. So yeah, once we let go of these young players, the chance of them coming back is slim. It's very slim, you know? And so at the end of the day, man, you know, if we trade a young piece, I don't expect to see him back unless it's like towards the end of his career, once he's close to 30. Then, you know, sometimes they mature and they want to go back and prove themselves why they get traded or whatever. Dan McGee has set a new record of offensive picks. You mean offensive fouls during screens or what are you talking about? I'm not sure. Dan Jones reminds me of Avery Bradley. Ooh, that's a good comparison. That's a good comparison right there. I like that comparison. I like that. He said, I really hope we get Kawhi or Kyrie. Me too, man. Dan, a couple of years ago, we ended the season on a win streak before losing the last game, and the basketball gods blessed us with the second pick for it. So I'm not worried. Well, that's definitely an optimistic way of looking at it, man. So I respect that, and I'm just proud of the guys. Honestly, the pick, will come next month. We're gonna find out exactly what pick we have, so we'll deal with it then. But for now, man, I'm still gonna cheer the Lakers. Like I said, we needed the loss, we didn't get it. I'm okay with that. He said, I missed the game. How did we do? Caruso, we balled out. We beat the Utah Jazz, and they were at 100% health. They had everybody. They had Joe Ingles. They had Rudy Gobert. They had Donovan Mitchell. And our South Bay Lakers came up and just balled out. So very proud of the Lakers. Alex Caruso is the real deal. Absolutely. Dan, what's your thoughts on Nipsey's death? Man, it's sad, man. Anytime somebody gets taken prematurely, especially somebody like him, who was so big right there in Los Angeles, and who pretty much grew up really nearby where I grew up in Compton, in Crankshaw. It's sad, man. But at the end of the day, that's life has been like that always, and not just Nipsey, but there's so many lives getting taken every day, man, to gun violence and stuff like that, man. So it's unfortunate. Rest in peace to him and condolences to his family. But there's so much violence, man. I just wish everybody just, you if you don't agree with somebody or you have some sort of a altercation, just use your hands, man. These should be your biggest weapons. These should be your weapons right here. Some people have to register these as weapons. That's how deadly they can be. But I don't mean kill each other. Just brawl it out and squash it out. I still don't believe in violence like that, but I'm just saying that should be the worst case scenario. Guns are horrible. There will be a memorial at Staples on Thursday. Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you, Art of War. I didn't know that. There you go. He said the Knicks think they're getting Durant and Kyrie. Again, man, we don't know, man. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen this summer. It could happen, but again, how many times have the media predicted stuff and it doesn't happen, right? But at the end of it, again, I can't wait for July 1st. We're going to find out a lot about what the front office is doing, what direction we're heading. We're going to find out a lot as well on during the draft. What the Lakers do there, that could be a draft day trade. It could be anything, right? But it's going to be exciting. It's going to be nerve-wracking, and I got you guys every step of the way. That's going to wrap it up for me, guys. I actually need to go get ready. Got to go hit the shower, man, get ready for work tomorrow. Time got away from me a little bit. So, but I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe, guys. I'll catch you guys Tuesday for the season-ending game, man. Hopefully we go out with a bang now that we're pretty much locked in at 11. So have a great night, guys, and thank you for everything.